weekend and got a chance to actually relax and take it easy for a change, right? I'm dual tonight, TikTok and YouTube, hopefully. Last time it didn't work out so well, but hopefully this time it is. But anyway, I hope everyone had a wonderful evening and I want to welcome and say hi, friends. And, let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you've done everything you could humanly do right? Hi, Angela, I'm sorry. That you've done everything right and you're still not where you thought you'd be in life at this point in time in your path. Honestly, you worked, you did everything you're supposed to, you sacrificed, and you stayed loyal. But now you're tired and stuck. Anybody feel like that? You're not alone, honestly. And today, I want to speak directly to those that feel that way. Seriously. But drop in the chat where you're tuning in. Hi, Bobby. Where you're tuning in from. And tell me if this sounds familiar to any of you. Hi, Jono. And one code. I'm Florida. And the weather's been super hot lately, but the sun is kind of hidden behind the clouds now. So it's a little cooler, but not much. However, let me know where you're all tuning in from. Is anybody from Florida? Hi, Matthew. And Cedar Weeks and LJ, I'm sorry. So anyway, so everyone knows where I'm from. That's why I got the beach in the background on TikTok, not on YouTube. Sorry, you don't offer that feature. But anyway, y- but you worked hard your whole life, and but retirement looks like nothing of what you thought was planned or was supposed to be. Can anyone, hey, Robert, anybody relate to that? You're scared to start over, especially with all the online stuff. I mean, it gets to be scary at times. Retirement works. For not for everyone, Robert. For you though, that's a blessing because so many people, it's not. It's just because the pensions and the 401ks did not turn out to be the same amount that they thought might be later on in life. Because when you're first starting that out and doing it, you don't realize what the cost of living actually will escalate to, and it has. With inflation, it's gone way off the charts. Oh, I'm happy, Robert. I'm sure you know people that are not quite as fortunate as you, but that's wonderful that you are. But for many, it's not. Sadly to say, especially when you reach your golden years or approaching it and worried about whether you'll have enough left over but by the time you get there, because if you think about it, if you're left hypothetically $90,000 because they have cut back on pensions and so and 401ks. So 90,000, think about it. Break it into 2 years. That's 45,000 a year. Medical can eat that up in minutes. That just one. Plus with inflation and everything else, it's not as hefty. They say now in order to retire comfortably for especially since life expectancy has gotten longer and longer, thank god for that, but they're saying 1.2 million is um, just about enough to hopefully cover you for your life duration. But that it sounds like a lot, a 1.2 million, but most people don't have that is left in that. uh, oh, okay, so well, that benefited you selling your parents' home, right? Is as far unless you sold your parents' home for them. Are they still alive? I don't know about that part, but you know, I did real estate 44 years. Always said sell high, buy low. That's where you'll make a a decent return on your investment, so to speak. But it depends on the kind of type of loan and your area that you live in and the economy and what the prices are going for and stuff to that nature. So that could suck it dry in a really quick time. So you were fortunate, Robert, and you did the right thing. So I'm glad to hear that. But anyway, not everyone is in that same Long Island. No, You're Long Island? What part? I lived in Long Island, for 23 years. I did real estate there first and then moved to New Jersey and did real estate there for the remainder. 23 years in, Long Island. I was in the, Glen Cove, you're Nassau County. I was Suffolk County, Smithtown area, and I loved it, but, uh, it changed over the years, got so much more congested. I used to take my boat and go all around through Oyster Cove and stuff to that nature, and I believe that's not too far from Glen Cove, right? Oyster Bay, I meant? Anyway, beautiful, the island. It just got so congested. Most of my family is still there. So, and they love it, but they're all talking now, wanting to move to Florida. As they're getting older, my kids are in their almost some are in their 50s and some in their late 40s. I have a granddaughter rather in her 30s. So I got the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle age bracket wise. But anyway, and most people are really scared. You're right. You're very fortunate. Be thankful for that because most people are not, sadly to say. But people are scared to start over, especially with all this techie stuff, online stuff, and all that good stuff, because I know I was. But the reality is, you've seen people online claim they are making money, but it just feels too good to be true. Does anybody think that way? That it doesn't sound like it's realistic, right? I'm sure. Join my fan club. Who said that? That was pretty cool. I like that. It was cute. But you know, when I started doing what I'm doing now, I was 70. I mean, that's an old person, right? I used to think my father, when I was a kid at 37, was an antique. Now I think, oh wow, that's such a young person. But I started over in my 70s, not by choice. I really had to. Oh, you're still young. You're a baby. I'm older than you. But but I didn't do it start over again by choice. I had a real estate business partner that went bankrupt, sticking me with the whole kit and caboodle, all the debts and everything. Prior to that, um, also not my choice. I had another partner. I made bad partnership choices, not anymore, but I did. But because I trusted the world, not anymore. But that partner embezzled hundreds of thousands of dollars from me while I was caring for my mom, who was dying of cancer. So I wasn't at the helm. You know, your emotions are definitely affected when you have a loved one that's dying. It was horrible, but you can't blame others. Yeah, exactly. You just got to hang in there, and that's what I did. Exactly, Robert. I totally agree with you. I I was caring for my mom with her cancer, and then when that issue took place, it blew my mind because I didn't expect that. But never assume anything, right? I had, based on what took place, I wiped out my entire savings to support the real estate business and keep it floating and going and until eventually I was able to sell it. But it sucked all my savings up because I was at the helm and I wasn't going to let my agents down because they earn commissions and they deserve to get paid because that I would never do that to somebody. No, you're right. Never assume anything, Robert. It's so true. We learn that. Our parents would say that when we were younger. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But as you get older, you start to understand what all those signs and comments that our parents would say, what it meant realistically. But I had no savings and I couldn't stand for long periods of time from due to a health issue. And I was tired and scared because I was a sole parent, raised my children myself. But you just can't throw the towel in. You got to do something. That's reality. If you if you want to survive, you have to find a method to fix and take care of it versus whining and complaining. I'm not into the negativity thing. That never was my cup of tea, and it still isn't. I don't believe in that, because that's not going to do anything for you. But I realized something really important. No one was coming to save me. It was up to me. I'm the adult and it was my job to fix it. So that's what I did. So, but you know, so I made a decision on my own. And if I am going to rebuild, it has to be something simple, flexible, and it has to give me peace. I was getting too old for drama. I'm not into drama or negative stuff, just not my cup of tea. But why people stay stuck? One, they fear. Uh, I hated being an adult, but you had to, Robert. Somebody had to step to the plate. If you have a family and children, you got to be the adult. I had three kids, so I had to be the adult. I wasn't going to let my kids run the house. No way. That wasn't going to be a method. But anyway, the number one thing that why people stay stuck: fear of tech, not understanding the digital world, because I didn't. As I've always said, I come from the Flintstone era. I am Wilma, and I will not hide that. And I'm not ashamed of it because back in my day, they didn't have that stuff. We didn't have technology. I mean, I go back to DOS. I didn't even know what that was, as far as technology and things. And I finally learned DOS on a computer. And guess what? Windows came out. I went, oh God, now what? I got to learn something new. And then after the Windows, it's everything, the AI and you name it. So, hi, Austin. But that's reality. If you just repeat and do the same thing over and over again, guess what? You're going to sink in that quicksand or that hamster wheel. Nothing's going to change if you don't change it. Because, as I said, nobody's coming to your rescue. You're at the helm. And if you're an adult and take responsibilities, you're the only one that can fix it. Otherwise, you're going to get trampled with what's going on in the economy and technology, AI and the digital world and everything like that. That's realistic too. So we're not taught this kind of stuff in school or even in the workforce, unless you're hired with a specific company and that's their line of business. But outside of that, we're not taught any of this stuff. And if you don't learn it, you're not going to be able to survive. And we're in the digital age now. Thank goodness, because the industrial age did us no good, no help, because we stuck in that. And so many people are still stuck in that. And that was just implemented in 1936, almost 100 years ago. Hello, wake up, world. We're in 2025 now. And the digital world is here, and it's moving faster than you can count, and it's only going to accelerate even higher and faster and more. So you have a choice: do nothing and get trampled, or fix it for yourself and your family and get your life back in order where you're at the helm. You should be at the helm of your life. But the truth is, this is simpler than you think. I mean, seriously, I'm 73 and I'm doing it. If you can use a cell phone, you can do this. Seriously, it's a cell phone, Wi-Fi. If you have Wi-Fi, I mean, I would say 99% of people today have a cell phone and Wi-Fi, and if you can copy, paste, and post, then make it earn money for you. Reverse the tables here. That's reality too. Oh, thank you, Jenna. Gianna, I think it said, or Diana. No, Gianna. Gianna. Thank you. I appreciate that. But that's the world we're living in. And if you don't make a change for the better for yourself, change is going to happen. I'd rather choose my choices and change versus having no choice and having a change on me, because that's when you're paddling, trying to, keep your head above water to survive. It's not going to happen if you don't take the steps to protect yourself. So, but anyway, if you can copy, paste, and post, turn your phone into something that produces money for you. Even if you're really comfortable, which is wonderful, have a backup plan. Put it in. It doesn't take much to do such. Your phone is already taking your time up. You're on social media. So if you're scrolling and you're doing that sort of thing, earn money from doing what you do, but apply it the proper way. What if it could return your freedom for you? Wouldn't that be nice? Versus, just constantly paying out. I mean, look at the cell phone costs today. Holy moly, insane. Um, and it's only going to keep every time you have a phone. You ever noticed your cell phone right when it's time they want you to upgrade to the next one? All of a sudden, little things start to fall apart on your phone. It's almost like it's programmed to break down and cause problems. And I was told once by a manager who actually got fired from, I won't mention which company. However, she was telling people that it's rigged. Your phone is created so that just in time for that upgrade, your phone starts to have issues. Pay attention to that because that seems to be what's happened with all my phones. It's insane. Anyway, I'm not going to get sidetracked. What I do, it runs 24/7 without me anywhere in the world. It's global. I love that. I don't pitch, meaning I don't hassle people, call them. I don't DM them, direct message them. None of that. I don't run around begging people to do business. No, thank you. That to me reminds me of the white patent leather shoe salesperson that keeps getting in your face. Come on, this car is great, blah, 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 whatever they're selling. They just don't leave you alone. I hate that. I never liked it. And even in the department stores, now I shop online, it's so much easier. But when I used to go to the stores, the sales ladies or whatever, depending on which department, would come up to you. Oh, may I help you? No, I'm fine, thank you. Well, what did you try this and that was, and everything always looks great on you, in their opinion, right? Anyway, sidetracked again, but that's reality. So I don't need to do any of that, and I don't run around bugging anybody, friends and family. I spend a couple hours a day, and the rest of the day, guess what? I live. I'm enjoying my life. I got my life back, and now I'm building my financial freedom as well. My time freedom is already really starting to work beautifully. I love it. That part is great. You know, I I had every reason though to give up. I really did. Getting embezzled and bankrupt with a partner and sticking you with everything. I mean, I could go on. There was so much more to those stories. I don't want to bore you to death, but I had every reason to throw the towel in and say, the heck with it. I'm done. I'm fed up. But, and I was also in pain. I developed a PVD, peripheral vascular disease, which means your nerves die and you can't stand for long periods of time. But I could go home crying all day long, but what is that going to do? That's not going to improve anything. And I had lost everything when I was embezzled and had to start over. And I thought, I'm too old in my 70s now. But guess what? That's what I thought. But I said, what if it's not too late for me to do something? What if I can build something new without sacrificing my peace and my sanity? And guess what? I did. And I'm so proud of it. And now I'm certified and I mentor other people. So, thank you, Andre. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's a number, right? You're as old as you feel. No, I'm just joking. I'm a jokester. I used to get into trouble for doing that in school. But anyway, but seriously, now I meant being certified and I mentor others doing the same thing. I help people in their 60s, 70s, and believe it or not, even in 80s, moms with toddlers, because I have so many grand and great grandchildren that they're important. They're the next generation coming up the ladder. And people recovering from loss because there's more of them than those that are really comfortable. Oh yeah, I was I was a nice pain in the butt, as my mom used to say. A little sneaky here and there. I was even in the newspaper for modeling one time, and I wasn't a model, but when I was younger, they did a photo shoot and put it in the magazine. So I had my fun when I was a teeny bopper, not a teen anymore. But anyway, uh, but I helped so many people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, moms with little kids, and people recovering from loss like I've gone through. This is, to me, this is about peace, purpose, and a way out. Yay! A way out of being stressed and, you know, people are losing it all the time. And there's so much, what's that called? Mental illness, I guess is the way it's what it's called when people get so stressed, like Robin Williams, everybody remembers him. And yet he was a comedian. Who knew? Because people mask and hide behind that. And then you hear about a dear loved one or friend you had no clue about. But that goes on too. When people are stressed financially and can't support their family or don't can't see a way out. This happens all the time. It's sad. I mean, it's heartbreaking actually. But but seriously, I if you're here honestly tonight because something's been tugging at you, I want to invite you to explore the exact system that helped me and is helping me and 53,000 other members, So, and it's not MLM, multi-level marketing. So you don't have an upline, there's no downline, there's no line at all. Zero line, I should say. One time small investment, choice of 4 different programs. And for people with a budget situation, you start low and you can upscale when it's convenient. There's 100, 300, 600, and $900 programs. My favorite was the 900 because it comes with 4 income streams. One-time payment. I don't pay overhead. I don't pay monthly expenses. Zero. And the training, I did real estate and I was an IT and instructor trainer, coach, mentor. I have never seen the training as good as what this is offering. And that's included. I don't pay extra for that. None of us do because it's not MLM. As I said, it's a one-time fee. Upscale anytime you want, if you want, and you receive 100% profit every single time. That's a given. So, and it's built for people who want peace, purpose, happiness, and financial stability. Stop, most people, even six-figure earners and up the scale that way, are chasing the dollar. You're trading your your time, your money for memories, and that's not worth it because when it's our time, you don't take your any of your loot with you, right? And my goal in the end is to leave a legacy for all my kids. And I got a huge family. I got 15 grand, 5 great children and their mates and yada yada. And it keeps growing because I don't want them to struggle like I've ever done. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And the reality is that you're your own boss, and that's the way it is. Aw, thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Andre. Am I saying that right, Andre? But the reality is, take control of your life. Do something like this if you hate your job or whatever. Do it for supplemental income. Because honestly, a couple 2 hours a day, that's it. Copy, paste, post. And guess what? Everything is given to you. It's all included. So you don't even have to think. Copy, paste, post. And whoopee. That's not hard, right? You're on social media now, so why not earn money doing that? And build your own nest egg and build your own legacy for yourself, your family. Get out of that 9 to 5 grind, or those that want to retire but can't because there's not enough and you see the light that it's not going to be enough for you to sustain for the rest of your life because we live longer, thank goodness, knock on wood. But the reality is people are working and killing themselves, working hours upon hours in a job they hate. And think about it. You're renting yourself out by the hour because your income is based on your employer and what they gave you, period. And security for jobs ain't there anymore. Mm-mm. If you are a cost factor to them and they can hire or implement AI, artificial intelligence, and replace you, you're not invincible. Backup plan. Protect yourself at any age. It can happen to anyone, and it will. It's already been happening to many people. I know a lot of people in the community. One guy was a welder 20 years, canned, had zero tech. Probably maybe a little more than I do because I'm Wilma. I told you that. So, bottom line is, he got canned. No warning, no nothing. He was homeless last January, not this past one, the one before, last January 2024. He started doing what I'm doing. Now he's earned over 400 and something thousand dollars, learned, and he now mentors as well. So, and I know others. 25 years, a guy in corporate America worked his rear end off for decades, and they canned him too. And now he does this, and he's about a half a million right now doing this. And he hadn't. None of us. The point I'm making is none of us had this kind of experience. However, the training is by far the best, hands down, that I've ever experienced, and it's all included. I don't pay extra for that. I did my one-time fee for the legacy builder. That was 900, and I get 4 income streams from that. The 600 gives you 3 income streams. The 300 gives you two income streams, and the 100 gives you 1 income stream. However, you can upscale anytime you want, and there's payment plans, interest free. I mean, how much better outside of somebody just giving it to you and doing the work for you could it get, right? Why? I'm not sure what that means. WYD, where you're. I, I'm sorry, I'm not techie. My kids bust my chops all the time. Mom, you don't know what those letters stand for. So if you wouldn't mind, Amir, what that does WYD stand for? I would love to be able to answer your question if it's related to what I'm talking about. I have no problem, but I don't know what that WYD stands for. Why, where, what? What do you do? Oh, that's what why. Oh, that must be new. Um, I do digital marketing, passive income, and I market a program that's an e-learning education that people can sell over and over and over again to anybody and everybody. And it's you work from home or anywhere. It's global, automation 24/7 included, and you earn 100% profit. There's no up or down lines at all because of master resale rights, just like Verizon, using that as an example. They don't invent the phone, but they sell it and they make quite a bit of money from it. Netflix, they don't really create the content, but millions and millions of people use Netflix for TV or whatever, but they're also making 100% off of every person that signs up with Netflix. The shirt I'm wearing or you're wearing, the, the, the store didn't make the shirt, but they have master resale rights to resell it and earn 100% profit each time. The difference between them and what I do, mine's online. I have zero overhead, no monthly expenses. I buy it, I'm the CEO, and I own the license to resell it over and over again. And 53,000 other members are doing the same thing worldwide. South Africa, Australia, Canada, Spain, Europe, all over the world. And it does no storage. No, I don't sell products. No, at all. I mean, people can take an existing business, for example, let's say you have a brick and mortar store and you're selling products or whatever. You can do that and integrate it, implement it into this program, and you're taught how to do it. That's also included. And but you don't have to do shipping. You're because I don't have a product. It's an online digital marketing business. And that's, I have a storefront. My storefront is my website. So I don't pay any of that overhead ever. There is no overhead. And I receive 100% each and every time. So, for example, Amir, let's say you joined with me, I would receive 100% profit on what you purchased, whether it's a 900, 600, 300, or $100 program. It's irrelevant, but I get 100%. And let's say John Doe buys a program from you. I don't get anything, but I mentor and I'm certified to do that. You get the 100%. So that's what it is. Where's the link? You can go to hollypringdailypay.com and check it out. Put it in your email. You'll receive a short video from our CEO mentor who's earned 6 million in 2.5 years doing this. And she teaches us all of this. That's why I got certified. Um, so you could do that. I don't bother you because I don't need to. I don't do any calling and emailing and all that. However, if you send me a message, I can I will definitely get back to you with an email. So, and it's free to explore for yourself. And I also have a link in there that'll invite you to, if you want to have a Zoom and ask me questions in a small group or a one-on-one. It's up to you. So if you put it's in the bio to the hollypringdailypay.com, but it's free to check out. What does it cost not to? Will you be in the same spot next year, 6 months from now? So I took the plunge. And if I could do this at 73 with zero tech skills and never did this digital stuff, I didn't even know what digital marketing was when I first started. So the link is in the bio though, or you just put in the my web address that I gave you and go from there. But anyway, getting 100% profit, and it's built for people who want peace, freedom, purpose, a life, be at the helm of your own life. Why let somebody else tell you what to do, when and where, or how much you're paid for? That's what I mean by you get leased out by the hour on it from an employer. That's ooh. Anyway, comment info if you want me to send the same blueprint. Does anybody have a question on what is a blueprint? Basically, what a blueprint is when you get up in the morning and you go about your day, and then tomorrow you repeat similar things. That's your blueprint. In this business, we have a blueprint step by step. My great granddaughter could figure this out. It's so easy. I didn't think it would be, but it's really so um, specific. And we have live interactive training that's included. Tech support is included. You name it. I mean, I'm surprised it's not being sold for more. Eventually, it probably will be, but now it's not. And think about it. 5 billion people are on social media every day and scrolling, looking for solutions to problems. Why not make it have you making money versus the other way around? So that to me, and from home, you can do this anywhere in the world. That's what I love. And you're taught to attract marketing versus harassing and calling people. I don't ever call anybody. There's no reason to. Those days are gone. We're in AI now, artificial intelligence and automation. Let it work for you. And it doesn't cost more, it's included. So, anyway, um, that's what a blueprint is. If you're feeling stuck, you're not broken. You're just ready. And when you're ready, the right path always shows up. Ever notice that in life? Drop ready or info in the chat. And watch my mini series. It's on TikTok. I'm always posting different things on TikTok or YouTube. Uh, mini series for the full behind the scenes of programs and different types of digital marketing, pros and cons, and so forth. But or sign up for my Zoom for the Q&A, either a one-on-one or a small intimate group. Any and all are welcome. If this resonated with you, tell me in the comments. What's one thing you would love to feel again in your own life? Anybody care to share that thought? I know I wanted peace. I wanted freedom. I wanted to do what I want to do when I want to do and not feel I have to do it or I'll sink and won't survive. I wanted freedom, peace, and let's build it together. Let me know if you're ready for that. You're not too late. You're just in the middle of your comeback. And sometimes the comeback is greater than the life you were chasing before. Does anybody have any excuse me, I'm talking too much. Does anybody have any questions that I can answer for you? Please let me know. Um, Otherwise, I'm going to hop off. I'm just making dinner. Yum, yum. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten much today. And I got to feed my fur babies and go swimming. That's what I'm going to go do and enjoy life. We're here once. Make the best and the most of it. But if anybody has any questions, let me know. Otherwise, check it out. Go to my bio, put in your email. It's free, and I don't bother you. But if you have a question, shoot me an email. I'll definitely answer it. And if you want, I can even create a video answering your question. So, some people work better with visual and audio combined. So that's me. I like visual and audio. So, but it's up to you. You're invited, or you'll also get invited to a free webinar and get to hear from our CEO mentor, as I mentioned, who's earned $6 million since September of 2022 and shares all the golden nuggets with all of us. So you can't go wrong with something like that. But anyway, you'll be invited to the webinar and you can ask your questions, and she'll also outline every single step, and you get to see um, previews of behind the scenes so you can understand even more if you have any um, needing more clarity for something that's understandable. But in the meantime, if nobody has a question, I'm going to hop off and thank you for the thumbs up, Amir. If anybody felt any value from this, please put a like or a diamond, a heart, whatever, a rose, anything, because it motivates me because I only want to perform better and better each and every time so people understand what it is. And my goal is to help a minimum of 1,000 families get out from under and have solutions in their life. And think about it, doing something like this, 12 customers offers, you earn $10,000 a month. 12 customers. Think about it. Everything's numbers in life, right? So, and you work from home at your leisure or wherever. In the meantime, I want to wish everyone a blessed and safe evening. Today is Tuesday. Have a terrific Tuesday, and I will be back tomorrow, same time, same channel, for a wonderful Wednesday. So take care, everyone, and I'll see you again tomorrow, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be back. Otherwise, check it out for yourself. Take care now. Bye-bye.